children. Reach for the top. Introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching. Their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history, all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. That ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education, leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history, all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. They know that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin.
Great day, leaders. Great day, great day. Welcome to the Empowerment Zone, PD Cast. It's week 60, y'all, where we talk educational dynamics, leadership trends, personal and professional development, and we provide solutions to help you with school improvement. Let's go. Thankful you all. Thankful to be here. Thankful that you're here. Go ahead and definitely start sharing it out. Definitely start letting me know where you're streaming in from. We got definitely a good PD cast for you today. We're going in today. So I just want to first off start out with a big thank you. You all, it's week 60. It's a big milestone. We've had 60 different professional developments over the course of started this thing last year, and it's been growing. We went Sundays for a year. We switched over to Saturdays a few weeks ago. So again, I'm just thankful you are. I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that you continue to come in every week. You continue to collaborate with me. You continue to discuss. You continue to listen to the different professional developments that we provide. I have a number of different members or different people who have been on as well. So shout out to all of them also. And we're just going to keep rolling, you all. We're going to keep rolling. And as we get ready to go into it, I definitely want to always encourage you, always uplift you, always try my best to inspire you, because I know it's not easy. And so many times as educators, we're the last to get recognized, the last on the totem pole, it seems. And they even downplay what educators do for society and how, even though we all know that we impact every career, every form of life, just about, experiences wise, especially workforce. And it also helps personal and professional development. So I just want to, again, just shout you out, you all. Shout you out. I know you're going into a break, Thanksgiving break. Whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, it's definitely always a good time to be thankful. That's why you notice every single week I come out giving gratitude, giving thanks, because I know where the blessings come from. I know what gets the rewards from the work, and you got to be thankful, whether it's good or whether it's bad, through all time. So just good to hear that. So if you have not seen the prior 60 PDs, definitely check them out. Also, get that lighting together for you. Check them out also, you all, because we had a great number of topics. And the thing is, if one idea can transgress, if we can help just one, if one can get something that they can take and they can use, that's why we continue to show up. That's why we continue to show up. Not for any other reason, but because we're doing our duty. It's our duty to share and empower and help other people. And when we take that seriously, guess what? We're going to continue to show up, even when it's not looking like it's being what it's supposed to be, or it's looking like people are not benefiting, or that it's looking like that you could do so much more. And of course you always can, but man, it's powerful to know that you can help just one. So that's why we keep going, you all. You ever said you're going to do something and then just kind of put it off over and over and over again? Well, you may not have, but I've been there, so I know all about that. And say, for instance, you got New Year's resolutions coming up, right? You probably did something this year that may or may not have been touched. And other things, might have been reading a book, may have been writing a book, may have been going to get a specific training that you had decided for yourself that you needed, but you kept putting it off. January rolled around. Now it's the springtime. Now you're like, I got to do spring cleaning. I've got to follow the local baseball team. They're doing such a great job. Now it's summertime. Oh, man, now the kids are in this type of program. Travel basketball. We've got this thing going on with our young ladies. And we got to help out in the community as well. So now it's the fall. Right? It's the fall. Now it's September. And we still haven't done what those things are that we said we wanted to do. Now it comes around, here it is. It's Thanksgiving. Wow. You went through 3 different seasons, 2 or 3 different events that could have spurred us on, but still we didn't take care of the business. So when I say that, I say all that to build up to our prelude, you all. Before we get into the will to grow yourself and empower others, we got to talk about that there's courage in the now. Woo-hoo-wee. Right now. There's courage in the now. One of my pet peeves is when we put off those implementations, especially in the schools, you all. I don't get on here and talk about every different subject or subjects that I don't know or that I hadn't put the hours in to be on a platform such as this talking about it. But I know that it takes courage to do those things that we say we're going to do, to implement. It's not always as easy as just saying it, right? Because there's an action that comes with courage. Waiting for January to improve on weaknesses. Why? Growth is not seasonal. I spoke on this today. I put out my Saturday sauce. And growth is intentional. It's not seasonal. It's not something that I've got to wait until the spring to do, or I've got to wait till next year to do, because I understand that there's courage in the now. And when we think about it, we put proper things in proper perspective. We can't afford to wait. Your team is going to move at the speed that you move. Students are going to move at the speed that teachers move. Leaders going to move at the speed that their leaders move at, or allow them to move at. So we got to understand that there is courage and power in the now. And we got to model that energy. We got to model that energy. When you talking about setting up an environment for growth, they want to know that you're attempting to grow as well. And that's whether you're the leader, whether you're a teacher, whatever your position in education, your colleagues, those people that you're working with and through, it's got to be a growth environment. so that we can push each other to next steps and next levels. So we want to model that particular image, and it takes courage to model it in the now. So you got this mid-semester or break coming up, and it's a prime time to get some rest, but it's also a prime time to refine. It's a prime time to also make some adjustments mentally that you can come back and actually implement into the school. So this is a time to build up. It's not a time to lose momentum. It's a time to build up the momentum. You don't want to coast it out. We want to build it out. We want to know that energy multiplies. The energy that we put out in our schools is going to be multiplied. It's going to be matched. And to do that, we got to first off verbalize the expectation. We got to understand that this is what we're going toward. This is what we're working toward. This is how we're moving. It takes courage to do that in the now. It's not so easy as back in the day where the principal, the superintendent, they come in, they say, this is what it is. This is what's going to happen. No, we got to use leadership. We got to use influence to make impact. And that takes you being present. That takes you having those relationships. That takes you being able to come in and talk vulnerably to your team, letting them know what you're working on as well. Let them know that, hey, I'm working to refine our peer observation schedule and our feedback process for that. That's big because now you're bridging gaps and you're doing more than just implement. Now you're teaching. Now you're working with people and you're building those relationships simultaneously because it takes collaboration to move your school. So you want to charge forward with that love, with that purpose, and with intention. The courage is in the now. Woo! Y'all, I'm fired up as always and just feeling good, y'all. And I want you to know, as we get into some content, we going in today, right? It takes a will within to grow. It takes a will within to put other people in position where they can also grow. So when I think about that, a couple of questions I want to just kind of preface what we're going to talk about. What are you going to enhance over the next month? Because after your Thanksgiving break, there's still 3 weeks left in the school year. Three weeks left in the first semester. And some people are going to be testing that December, but there's still a time to refine, make sure you're prepared as well. Some people won't test until next semester, but these adjustments have to be made now. You got to reflect now. Nothing is going to happen by chance. The data isn't going to move because we wished upon it. The data is going to move because of your response to it, right? And we're going to dig a little bit more into that as well. But definitely, you all share it out. Definitely appreciate your Principal Kafele chiming in. Peace, my brother. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you today. Much love to you, my brother. I was on with you earlier as well. And as we keep going into the content, you all, you say, where am I getting better at on purpose? What's going to look different, right? What's going to look different when we finish out these next 3 weeks? What are we going to look at making better? What are we going to enhance? Or are we just going to coast out the year? Yeah, it's a question you got to ask from within. What you going to do to keep it moving? What skill are you going to tighten up? What are those professional development sessions going to look like over the next 3 weeks? Because when you come back after the Christmas holidays, you want to be rolling, still rolling, because I know many of you already are. But what are you going to do to enhance what you're doing? Those small shifts, those little changes, those little enhancements, right? They give you major momentum. They give you a big push. They give you that extra fire. They give you that extra desire. Because when you feeding your people, when you growing them every single day, when it's all about the work, it's about us getting better and we're doing it together, it becomes a place where we love coming here. We want to get in here and make things happen. And that's what it's all about. So when you think about that, and we're going to keep it moving forward, you got to be clear about it. You got to be clear about those expectations, clear about what the next incremental time is going to look like. And voice it, verbalize it, visualize it, right? We need to know, where are we going? The ship not going to move unless we move it together. So many times, leaders, we get in there and we want to move the ship. We have great ideas, but you're going against your people versus inviting your people in. And that's a problem. That's a problem that we got to check with self-awareness, because you need to be aware of that's the approach. Or are we leading with a team spirit? Are we coming in, bringing people together? That's the question, right? So when you think about how you're going to enhance over the next month, and feel free, if you want to put it in the chat, feel free to put it in the chat as well, because sometimes you have to voice things. You got to be consistent. You got to want it. And guess what? Affirming it always helps. Next thing I want to ask you, and we're going deep today, you are. How are you going to model that growth? How are you going to model the growth that you're hoping to see in your staff and in your students? What do you mean? What are you saying, Joe? How are you going to demonstrate that you learning as well? You're not just leading, but you also are learning, that you're deep in it, that you're pushing yourself, because guess what? I can't be pushing everybody else if I'm not also pushing myself. And people are more subject to understand that he's pushing himself or she's pushing herself. That means I should also push. It's a trickle effect. The leaders, the teachers are going to take on the behavior that the leadership displays. The students going to take on the behaviors that the teachers display. So as the leader, you got to come in focused. You got to come in modeling what you expect. Model to expect greatness versus modeling to expect compliance. I'm going to say that again. Model to expect greatness. Not model to expect greatness, okay? Not to expect for compliance. And those are things that we want to continue to think about, that we want to continue to push. You say, I'm working on bringing the team together through our PLCs. What can we do? What can we do to make sure that everyone's engaged? Because if they're not already engaged, guess what? We need to find some answers. And leadership got to understand that answers are not always inside of them. They within your staff, they within your students, they within your people. It's not always within. And we got to be able to understand that. And we're going to model it. Model it how? Through your reflections. Model through the things that you say, through the things that you implement, your habits. If I'm hoping that you're implementing stations weekly, I want to also be able to model that in our PLCs. I want to be able to show you that I'm also modeling what I expect. And I'm expecting to see greatness. It's powerful. That's a powerful motivation, you all, for the people that you work with, for the people that are surrounded in close vicinity with you every single day. We got to create loving and collaborative experiences. So how will you model your growth? Or are we just barking orders? Are we just telling people what to do? How are you going to model your growth? See, when you stretch, everybody get a chance to stretch. If they don't see you getting better, when they see you getting better, they understand that that's the expectation to get better. That's how you set it up, you all. Definitely appreciate you. One of the other things that we want to do when we looking at having the will to grow, because it takes will to grow. I heard one of the people online say that you have to have more than just the experiences. You got to use those experiences to then take action. I talk about action all the time. I talk about making the mission something that you do. I talk about living it every single day. But to understand, that these are just the experiences. These are just options for reminiscing. That's just something that happened. That's something that just took place. But then we make the change and we keep forward and we keep going. That's the difference. So one of the things that we want to do, a third thing that we definitely want to do, review your feedback loops and your follow-ups. Yeah. Review. You got to review your feedback loops. Sometimes we provide a professional development at the beginning of the year and never revisit it. Perhaps you got peer observations going on in your school, but you don't know when the last one was done. So you got to be intentional about following up and providing the feedback that's necessary for your people to keep going. It's intentional. It's an intentional process every single time. Having those professional learning community meetings that have purpose. You got to make sure that we stand on data, that we're talking about data and instruction. And guess what? We're purposeful about it. We're ensuring that this is what takes place. We're looking at the standards. We're looking at student work. We're looking at how our strategies align from teacher to teacher and from department to department. Yeah. That's how you're going to get your school-wide initiative implemented through it all as well. You're talking about reviewing those agendas. If I go back and I look at my agendas for the first 3 months of school, I'd be able to look at them and determine what was the actionable outcome from them. If I can't look at them and determine what was the outcome from my meeting agenda as the leader, as an educator, guess what? I got to make an adjustment there because I need to ensure that I'm providing outcomes for our meetings. We're not just meeting just to meet. Y'all, this is powerful information. And sometimes we have to reiterate this information because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get bogged down in the work. Sometimes we get overwhelmed. So when we got consistent feedback loops and we following up, that takes out the me not knowing what's going on. That allows me to understand that you're consistent. That allows me to monitor my expectations for greatness, right? You got your expectations for me as the leader, but now I'm able to monitor my expectations as well. And they merge and meet in the middle because I know what the expectation is. That's power in that. I talk about data talks. We talk about mini chat data talks. We talk about all these types of data talks. But guess what? You got to follow those up too. Yeah. You can't have one data talk in August and then never follow up with your students. You got to show that consistency. So make sure that as you're reflecting now, these are things that you're going to make over the next 3 weeks. You're not going to wait until January to make these corrections. You're going to make these corrections now because guess what? The courage is in the now. And whether you're doing it against all odds or whether you got everyone supporting you, the courage is in the now. That's what leadership is. That's what leadership does. That's the consistency in leadership. Your reflection circles. You know, I talk about reflection circles. We talk about giving opportunities to do those type of things all the time. And what is it without the follow-up? If I let you get your feelings off your chest one time, and it's a whole nother school year before we ever do it again. See, this the talk that we don't always talk about every single week because we're talking implementation, we're talking professional development, we're talking about things that you can use for tools to move your school. But on the flip side of that, that's where that consistent coaching, that consistent follow-up, that feedback, that's where it comes in. That's where it comes in. Now you're taking your leadership, you're taking your school, your team to the next levels. You say, what about our relationship? What about being resilient? What about having these relationship resilient routines? I call it the 3 R's. Relationship resilience routines. Huh? Yeah. Because we need to follow, we need to maintain those relationships. We need to keep them going. It's intentional. It's not random. It's not a one-time event. It's something that we must do over and over and over again. And guess what? It's hard sometimes, y'all. We know. We're human. We understand that it's hard sometimes to be consistent. But guess what? That's why you have these professional development outlets. You have various platforms. You got various books and things of that nature, videos, podcasts, live streams to feed your soul, to keep you going, to keep you motivated, to keep you in the moment. You got to love what you do. You got to continue to love what you do. See, follow through is that's your credibility. That's you being able to consistently speak with your team members, consistently get their input, consistently see their practices, consistently see their growth. Because if I'm monitoring and we are observing and we looking and we're trying to be our best, guess what? You're gonna grow during that process too. That's what the power is. So with those follow-ups, with those feedback, be sure to celebrate the growth that you see with your educators. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again because we don't do it enough. We got to celebrate the growth. We got to celebrate not just the growth in the data, but the growth in competency, the growth in our ability, the growth in showing up. You got that educator that you've been working with. I'm talking about they were not performing last year, or they were not performing 3 months ago, or they were not performing 2 months ago. But you've been working with them and you're seeing progress. Y'all, that's growth that's to be celebrated. You need to go tell that educator, hey, I see you. See, this is not a I got you. This is an I see you. This is an empowering moment. This is our time to celebrate what we've been working on. Now, it makes it even easier for me to come back, give more feedback, for me to follow up and give more follow up. And us continue to move the needle one step at a time. That's the journey. And we're doing it now. The courage is in the now. The outcome might not be, and normally is not going to be until later, but the courage is in the now. Ooh, wait. Y'all, we on fire today, and it's just in my spirit. It's in my spirit. Last year data, that's not going to get it. That was last year's data. We used it. We monitored it. We set up our schedules. We scheduled kids because of it. But now you got to monitor it. Your benchmarks, right? Your teacher-created assessments, your practice state assessments, all of those. That's now data. Last year's data is good. We got us going. But now we got to have courage to make decisions of the data that we see currently. Ooh, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but you got to be able to analyze the current data. You can't just wait for the state data to come out. You got to be able to make adjustments. You got to be able to see trends in your current data as well, because that's going to reflect next year's state data. And if I only wait on the state data, or I only dig into the state data and I never come back and use my benchmark data to make adjustments, just having it is not good enough. That's the difference. You are just having the data. That's not where it's at. The adjustments that you make because of the data, your instructional leadership capabilities that drive the instruction because you use the data. That's what we're speaking on. We're talking about a different level. We're talking about moving schools and people. We're talking about moving people. Right? When the people move, the schools move. Let that sink in. I'm gonna let that sink in because I know we on fire. This show 60, you all, and guess what? I'm proud. I'm happy about it. I'm congratulating us. Yes, we on PD cast number 60, and we still going strong. We still delivering. We still giving. That's the power. That's the power. And it's a joy in that. It's a joy in that, you all. So make sure you are constantly monitoring that data as well. Okay? Constantly doing what you need to do, because you got to have willpower to grow. You got to have willpower to accept feedback. You got to have willpower to make adjustments. You got to have willpower to understand that when I make this decision, I might be criticized. Yeah, it's the freest feeling when you give up your thoughts about what other people think about you. You can go to the next levels inside of your own self. See, everybody else is good that they know as well, but inside of you, that's the most important. Now you can project outwardly more positively because it's inside. What's inside is going to come out. And people are going to realize what's inside. It's power. It's power, and no one can strip you of that. No one can strip you of your energy, your ability, those things that you're able to do and that you bring to the table as a unique individual, instructional leader, teacher, educator. Your perspective matters. You're unique. You are one. Understand that. We come to empower and uplift today. Because I know it's a drag sometimes. I know it's coming down the pipe. I know that. I can't wait to get out of this Thanksgiving break. And then we got 3 weeks, 15 days, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. It's a countdown, right? And that's okay too, because we fight in increments. We fight in increments, but when we are aware of that, we don't let up. It's a difference of being aware of where we are in the school year and how long we got to a break than letting up because we know a break is coming. Yeah, I know you hear this. I know you hear this. And I know I'm not trying to punch in your belly because I'm not like that. I love people, right? And you've been with me over these 60 shows, over these 60 professional developments. You know this because we come to deliver every single time. But you want to be in a space where you're loving what you're doing. You want to catch yourself when you realize, I'm just ready for a break. No. Catch yourself because guess what? That break is coming. That break is coming. Rest. Get that rest. But that break is coming. Get that rest. Because go back in there and understand you got to give it your all. Love what you do. Have fun with it, you all. Have fun with it. Y'all, we on fire today. I'm so thankful as always, you all. So thankful as always. What you choose to do today or what you choose to improve on today for yourself become somebody else's success tomorrow when you're an educator. That's where you got to look at it. You know, when you're getting down, when you're getting tired, take that break. I believe in it because you need that rest, that rejuvenation so that you can come back stronger, harder, better than ever before. But also understand that we must not let up. We must understand the power of now. We must understand that there is courage in the now. That what we put off today won't help anybody tomorrow. But what we start to work on today could possibly help somebody today and tomorrow. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's courage in the now, you all. I'm so fired up. I'm so thankful. Week 60. And with us, you know, we just want to make sure we provide as much as possible. We only missed about 6 weeks during that stretch. And that was by design. You know, I'm going to definitely be here. But those 6 weeks that we didn't, that was by design. So understand that you can count on us. We're going to be here. We're going to be here. We loving what we're doing. And we enjoy being able to support. If it's just one. That give me a great feeling if it's just one. If it's just one. I know it's more than one, but if it's just one, y'all. If it's just one. With that being said, let's continue to pray for our country. You know, we've been in it. We've been going through some things. As always, it's not a political platform, but we know politics do affect everything. So just continue to pray, continue to be mindful of the things that we're going through. We can't do a whole lot about everything that's happening, but we can definitely be voices. We can be there when change is ready to happen, because we don't have to give up. We must not give up. I'm not giving up. Y'all giving up? Y'all giving up? I'm not giving up. I'm pushing forward. I'm pushing forward, loving what I do every single time. You are definitely, again, share it out. Continue to comment, continue to check out the live stream. We just come to motivate and to inspire. Always to speaking life into you, right? It's from the speaking, we the empowerment PDcast, but we still from the Speaking Life in You Leadership Live Stream Series. You know, we might change names every year when we go into volume 3 next year. So we're gonna keep rolling and keep going, and you all should definitely do the same. With that being said, I want to continue to ask you all to continue to love, learn, and lead with your heart. Continue to be courageous so that you can drown out all fear, and continue to search for wisdom so that you can find your true purpose in your educational spaces, places, and communities. Signing off, much love. Have the best weekend.